We've been reliant on always seeking what's the most convenient and for many reasons, whether it's cost or environmental issues or labor issues or so forth. So really, I think the critical minerals industry in the United States has really gone into tremendous lethargy.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Alberto Resende, is the CEO of M2I Global. And Alberto, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and it's great to see you, Steve.
Yeah, let's before we get into the news, we have some news about China. Let's talk a bit about what your company does and the importance of the work that you're doing.
Right. Our company, what we're doing is we're focused on rebuilding this transparent, resilient supply chain of critical minerals to the United States. And we're focused on building the strategic mineral reserve in a private-public partnership with the United States federal government.
Okay, so there a report out of China that they are going to ban certain critical minerals, and you talked about this in the last couple of times that we've talked together about the reliance on China right now and what this could mean. So I'll let you take it from there. Give me some thoughts on what you're hearing.
Sure. Well, at the end of the day, M2I Global was really founded. It was really birthed because of that pressing need that we identified that China and other countries that maybe aren't so friendly to the United States are really responsible for the majority of not only the critical mineral sourcing, but refining and processing. And so we've been kind of ringing the bell on the fact that we could get into another situation where we would have a restriction on minerals that would provide for the national defense and economic security of the United States, and that we could see them really kind of push their heel down on the jugular vein, so to speak, of being able to have the freedom to do the things that we need to be able to do. It could choke our technology and innovation. It could choke our progress on rebuilding national defense and keeping us secure. So it was really important for us to be able to be able to discuss this with folks both in DC and other partners, and that's why we're building this tremendous ecosystem of like-minded partners to be able to provide alternative sources of not only critical minerals but also refining and processing of those important minerals.
Yeah, in your comments in the news release, you use the term "this is a wake-up call for the U.S." Strong language for the U.S., but something I think that you stand behind, of course.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, we've been reliant on always seeking what's the most convenient and for many reasons, whether it's cost or environmental issues or labor issues or so forth. So really, I think the critical minerals industry in the United States has really gone into tremendous lethargy. And we were reliant on folks wanting to make sure that they could provide those. But when you look at what China has been doing and what some of the other countries that aren't friendly to the United States, when they see an opportunity to be able to hamper or hinder what we're trying to do, they will do so. And so we need to make sure that we have those alternative sources, working with our partners and allies that will continue those minerals to flow to the United States.
You call for a united approach in combating this, and you talk about a number of ways that you think that united approach should go towards. Maybe you could talk to us a bit about that as well.
Sure. What we're doing right now is we're building an ecosystem of all sorts of different industry members, whether they're refiners and processors, whether they're miners, whether they're trading companies, to make sure that we seek out those alternative sources of critical minerals. And there's no way that one company would be able to do this. It really requires a united front working in conjunction with the federal government and state governments as well, to be able to look for ways for us to be able to increase domestic production, reestablish our processing and refining industries, creating those incentives for that to happen, and then working with our partners to really seek out those additional sources in exploration and exploitation of resources throughout the world. But we do so, or at least we want to make sure that we underscore that expansion with responsible mining, because we see when mining isn't done in an adequate way in terms of looking at the communities that it impacts, as well as the environment. So we know that we have to do this in a very responsible way so we don't find ourselves in the same position in the future that we have in the past.
Yeah, Alberto, well said. Good to see you again, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks very much, Steve. Talk to you soon.
All right, there's Alberto Resende, the CEO of M2I Global.